at the Movies, a podcast where we rant about our favourite cult and lesser known films, and are very disappointed in ourselves for not shoehorning in a Stargate reference last week. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono, and driving a Bentley covered in human skin is my co-host and master of none, Ciara.
No one tells you how much lotion is going to cost when you cover a car in human skin. Because the bastard's out in the sun all the day. It looks crispy.
It does. It looks particularly crispy.
It looks crispy. It looks like old bacon.
Speaking of old things, we finally got our DVD copy back, and it's about time that we ranted Doomsday. And it's the first time that we have a repeat director on Mono Rants. But we love Neil Marshall, goddammit, and we love this sci-fi apocalyptic action.
Yeah, it's Neil Marshall and Sam McCurdy, who is his kind of most frequent collaborator as a director of photography. He was DP for Dog Soldiers, he was DP on both of the Descents, even though Neil Marshall wasn't involved with the second Descent.
Yeah, you can kind of see his fingerprints on this as well, I think.
The opening crowd sequence where it's all like backlit and there's mist and like lights and there's the big searchlights going off.
Yeah, that's very Dog Soldiers-y, I thought.
Yeah.
This film is probably one of his lowest rated. Well, actually, I don't know, maybe the new Hellboy is. But certainly compared to The Descent and Dog Soldiers, it didn't get anywhere near as much praise. But I love this one. This is just balls to the wall fun, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Like I said, we talked about The Descent before. It's a really good horror film. It's just not our bag.
I have my own issues with The Descent, and it's because I'm not a fan of that type of horror film. I'm not good with suspense horror at all.
Yeah.
I can't watch it, and The Descent is very much suspense horror. And I didn't like it.
Yeah, no, we didn't have to recap our Dog Soldiers chat. It's okay.
I forgot.
But yeah, no, we did. We don't, for whatever reason. It's just for us. It's not one that we rewatch. Certainly when compared to Dog Soldiers and Doomsday, which we rewatched the shit out of on a regular basis.
I think I've watched The Descent since the first time I watched it.
I think I've watched it 2 or 3 times because I love this and Dog Soldiers so much. I wanted to give it the extra chance, and it just doesn't do it for me. But he does action sci-fi quite well.
Yes, he does.
It's quite silly.
He loves it, and you can see that it's a genre of filmmaking that he himself is a huge fan of. Yeah. It translates to screen.
It's worth mentioning that this is definitely going to be another full spoilers rant.
Yeah, there's no way of talking about this film without...
Oh, well, we could do a non-spoilers rant,
but it would make no sense.
I love it so much. I want to be able to talk about some of my favourite bits in this film. And because of the way the film jumps around, it might be very hard to do a non-spoilery one as well, especially when we start talking the medieval elements later on. People would be like, you what now? Because you can't not mention them.
The medieval bit.
Yeah, you can't not mention it, really, when you're talking about this film. And we're going to go full spoilers.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to go full spoilers.
It's easier.
But before we go full spoilers, will we go full summary?
Full summary.
In a scenario that we're all too familiar with, 21st century Britain has been ravaged by a contagious virus and cut itself off from the rest of Europe. Only in this reality, Scotland did get the independence in the end.
Not exactly how they envisioned it.
No. Nonetheless, nearly 30 years later, after Scotland has been cut off, and with a fresh viral outbreak in England, Major Eden Sinclair and a team of soldiers must brave the everyday residents of Glasgow and some LARPers with a taste for realism to try and find a cure before time runs out.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, it gives away a bit, alright, but
yeah,
that's the film in a nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, watching it now with the old 2022 glasses on.
Yeah, none of the measures at the start of the film, because we're talking about this virus, this viral outbreak in Glasgow. And
in 2008.
To be perfectly honest, it's fucking nasty.
Yeah,
it's gross. It's like boils and there's bodily fluid flying everywhere. It
kills thousands of people in the first few days.
Yeah, and it seems to be that once any little bit of anything gets on you, that's it, you're infected. It's horrific.
So we're talking way, way worse than COVID, and the opening narration is and people were locked into their homes and told not to go outside.
They were basically told to stay
curfews
sheltered
were enforced.
Yeah,
and it was that's reasonable. Yeah, that's reasonable. Oh yeah, that's totally reasonable.
For us, the way the levels went here, it was a full level 5 lockdown for us, and we were like, yeah, okay.
The only thing that he talks about in the opening narration that were the measures that were enforced that we didn't get during COVID was martial law and soldiers shooting people.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
We didn't go quite that far.
Can we also point out that they built a big ass wall inside of 6 weeks, which it is a triumph in and of itself.
Yeah, they do build that wall pretty damn quickly, all right.
They kind of go, oh shit, there's an outbreak in Glasgow, fuck it, build a wall.
That was the other thing, was with everything that we've kind of seen through COVID, there's no way that wall, even if they got it built in 6 weeks, that wouldn't have been enough to stop that virus from getting to from Glasgow down to England inside of 6 weeks.
There was a guy who jet skied out to the Isle of Wight to see his girlfriend. Like, it just wouldn't happen. Like, people, there was all the stories in Italy of people like escaping from quarantine zones to go home and causing like further outbreaks. We have discovered that we owe every single disaster movie and horror movie an apology because people are fucking stupid. As a whole.
No, except this one we don't owe an apology to because
they did the right thing.
Well, no, not even that they did the right thing, but the
measures they take are actually...
But they weren't realistic enough because we know in 6 weeks how much COVID spread around.
Yeah.
There's no way that virus wouldn't have made it like for how like voracious it is. There's no way it wouldn't have ripped through the entirety of England and the rest of the world. And it was like inside of those 6 weeks.
Yeah, and
but it's the main conceit of the film. So
to have taken place in 2008, and it's in Glasgow, which is a major international hub as well. So there was no way you could have locked down all air travel, boat travel, everything like that. And the way it makes out is that the Reaper virus is solely contained to Scotland, which we know that would never have fucking happened.
The one thing that I will say in its defence is
because animals seem to get it too.
Well, no.
All right.
Well, because we see cows and we see that poor bunny and they seem fine.
Oh, that poor bunny.
But the one thing I will say in its defence is that the virus does certainly seem to have a much quicker gestation period than, say, COVID.
It also has a higher burnout rate as well.
So, yeah, it might be that bit easier to contain because it's very obvious when people have it.
Oh, God, it is. It's hard.
But also, as I say, it's the central conceit of the film. They were able to build this wall. Scotland got cut off. We can have the movie. If they didn't, the movie wouldn't exist, and I wouldn't be happy because I love this movie.
But they end up, so Scotland is entirely quarantined, and they basically just forget about Scotland and just leave it. And because of the UK's reaction to this, the world turns its back on the UK.
Yeah. So in this case, it's not that the UK yeeted itself out of Europe; it's that the rest of Europe and the world were.
It's a really extreme version of Brexit.
Well, yeah, it was like, but this time it was like enforced upon them instead of. Voluntarily chosen.
It was like the rest of the world went, you know what?
Yeah. It's Brexit, but by force. Fuck you guys. Get out.
So their economy is in ruins. Politically, they're like in a shambles.
They very much seem to be
like they have no allies anywhere else. It seems to be that like even shipping and trade and things like that through the UK, like that seems to have basically they've been sanctioned by everybody.
Yeah.
It's very, very similar to the likes of Children of Men.
Yeah.
And V for Vendetta. Only V for Vendetta is more overtly fascist.
No, it's very obviously overtly fascist in V for Vendetta. Where this, it's just
getting
more,
there.
Yeah, it's not quite the full-on fascist. It's just horrible bastards in power.
The two that are in, because it's a political story going on in this as well.
There's a lot in this film. Maybe too much, but there's certainly a hell of a lot going on.
There's a lot going on in it, because it's only, 100 minutes?
Yeah, and I have a list of 8 characters written down.
There's way more.
And there are by no means limited to 8 characters, and I only wrote those 8 down because they're the ones we'll probably talk about. Yeah. There's about another 6 or 7 who are soldiers in that squad that are basically just cannibal fodder. And they're fun, and it's a bunch of guys from Dog Soldiers, and it's excellent. But I'm not going to bother talking about, there's this character and he dies, and there's this character and he dies. So we're not going to mention every character because there's a lot.
Your main character is obviously Major Sinclair. So in the initial opening of the outbreak and all that, she's a small child.
Yeah. Her
mother, who it's a lovely little cameo from Emma Cleesby, who was in Dog Soldiers.
She's Megan.
Yeah, we proceeded to rip her.
Yeah, we did. We weren't too kind to her, really, were we?
No, but it's not really her fault. So it's nice to see her again.
And speaking of Neil Marshall, definitely one thing we said in Dog Soldiers, he definitely got better at writing women.
Yeah.
Still a couple of things, but he's definitely better.
A lot better. They're trying to outrun this angry mob of people who are heading to to the wall to get out. A skirmish breaks out. It's all, you're watching it now going, oh yeah, that would totally happen. The fact that it's remained this peaceful to this point is insane.
All it takes is that one idiot soldier to shoot an infected person.
And that's it. It's just all hell breaks loose.
And an infected person who is mostly cooperating. Everybody separates away from him as soon as they realise.
Oh God, no.
And he's just kind of standing there. He's not trying to run, and the soldier just blasts him, and everybody gets covered in his blood, and then everybody jumps on said idiot soldier, and the whole thing erupts.
And for them knowing that it's being transferred through like bodily fluid and stuff like that, you think they'd be using
tasers and stuff for
methods?
Yeah, beanbags.
Beanbag them unconscious.
Yeah, beanbag shotguns.
No, but they're all like Uzi and stuff anyway because they're covered. It's very much like.
Sorry, I just had an image of one of the Reaper people getting beanbagged, and it just split them. Yeah, no, you're probably right on.
Look into Pastulio. Like, because it looks like bubonic plague. That's the way it's presenting. Yeah. It's these big boils and swells. It's not an attractive looking thing. It is very clear that these people are very fucking sick.
And the Reaper virus is also where we get an awful lot of our kind of zombie nods and references in this film.
But they're not...
Oh, they're not zombies by any means. They're just infected, sick and dying people.
Incredibly sick people. But it's just, they even just look unpleasant.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's like COVID where people had it and it wasn't obvious that you had it. It's really fucking obvious.
Yeah, it's really obvious that you have it. But I like that up until probably nearly halfway through the film, you're not really sure if the Reaper virus, hurts and kills people, or does it make them go kind of like insane and violent, because it's kind of a misdirect. Yeah. Like when all the cannibals first appear, you're not sure, are they infected people or what they are.
What's going on?
So I like that kind of the way it's toyed with that.
Yeah, well, everybody is fearing this. It's spreading like wildfire. There's no cure. There's no way of stopping it. There doesn't seem to be any viable way of treating it. People get it. It gestates. They die. It's a very quick process.
Yeah.
And it is just decimating the population. And people are trying to get out. People who aren't sick are trying to get out, and they're told to go home and barricade themselves into their doors. And there's a really touching moment later on when they're driving through, and they ask what are all the numbers on the outside of houses. And she's explaining that it was the number of people waiting inside to be saved.
Yeah.
And nobody else knows that, which just, goes to show that the English haven't improved their historical education system. Yeah. Not telling people of the fucking atrocities they've committed.
Yeah, not unlike England to not teach their citizens about the horrible shit that they've done in the past. Yeah. Nice little bit of realism there.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be talking about Sinclair's character, weren't we?
Yeah, basically, a soldier sacrifices his place on a helicopter to take baby Sinclair.
Yeah.
She's like 5 or 6 or whatever at the time. And that's how she's rescued from it. And she's given the mums, like, here's an envelope so she'll know where she came from.
Yeah.
And that's how kind of her tie to it. And then it cuts to her 25 years on.
Well, we get a bit more of a...
Department of Domestic Security, which would be the equivalent of Homeland Security one.
Yeah, well, I think it's supposed to be the idea of, it's not just a police force. They're not just police anymore.
So instead of it all being like the Metropolitan Police and this, that and the other, it's all one department.
Yeah, it's one cover-all.
Does everything.
Yeah, we'll police you and we'll enforce whatever laws we see fit kind of thing. Because they have a very stormtroopery look to them. Not Sinclair now in the start mission, but any other DPS soldiers we see are very stormtroopery. They're all in the
balaclavas, gas masks, full body armour.
All black.
Beating the crap out of people. Our first introduction to Eden Sinclair then is the trafficking raid.
Yeah.
We learned that she had been shot in the eye as a child in the opening sequence. She's now got a fun robot eye.
Yeah, little bionic eye.
Which is quite fun to play with. And she's got like the little watch and it records stuff onto it.
But maybe the 2022 vision again, we never see her sanitize that eye fucking once.
She rolls all over that dirty ass bow, and then she just pops it back in without even giving it a fucking spritz of Lysol.
And then the cannibal dungeons later on, she's rolling it around.
Yeah.
No, that needs some, maybe it's self-sanitizing, but I fucking doubt it.
Gross.
But yeah, no, the boat scene is a nice introduction to her, but
she comes across as a fucking psycho.
Yeah, because she gets her partner killed. And I'm like, okay, we've only met this character. Okay, the kid version of her aside, we've only met this character like 2 minutes ago. And we've just seen her Okay, she's not directly disobeying what her partner is saying to her.
But he's
saying don't shoot.
Yeah, but he's already had to reinforce before they even go into the boat. He's like, remember, I want them alive. And I was saying, surely this is the conversation you would have had during the main briefing. And she's like, yeah, okay, it's your call, whatever, I'll take him alive.
But given her actions in the boat, maybe he was right to reiterate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's full on responsible for getting her partner killed, and she doesn't seem all that bothered. But mind you, neither does Bob Hoskins' character, Chief Nelson. All he has to say about it is he was a good man. You know, he wasn't the best copper out there, but he was a good man. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah. Can I just shout out to the South African effects team that did all the head explosions and stuff.
Oh, yeah, your man getting his head knocked off by a shotgun is fucking brilliant. Yeah, the gore
Dummies full of bits of shit from the butchers will always look better.
Yeah, no, there are lots of faces getting caved in and people being run over, and there's a lot in this, and it all looks great. Yeah,
great. Him getting the side of his face shot off with the shotgun, nasty.
But yeah, so like we have a scene with baby Sinclair where we're like, oh no, she got shot in the face and she got separated from her mom. Oh no, sympathy. And then
you're like, damn.
Then 2 seconds later,
this is what happens when you're raised by the government.
Yeah, true. So yeah,
I suppose killing machine.
I suppose it is supposed to show us that she'll get the job done by any means, but it doesn't. What's the word I'm looking for?
Justify.
Not justified, but like it's certainly not going to warm her to the audience, really.
No, I don't think you're really supposed to like her anyway.
Well, I do.
She's a really fun character. She's not exactly the most likeable human in the plot. Like, she's literally just there to do a fucking job, and you don't get much more than that.
No, she doesn't have a huge amount of characterization, but at the same time, she's not stock female badass.
No,
she is fun, and we were talking when we were watching it. She almost could be a guy if they wanted.
Yeah, like she's not. She doesn't play up her femininity in any way or anything like that. She's not, and it's never used against her either.
No, and she's not. And she's also not the badass girl trying to be like a guy. She's treated as a
warrior, and that's it. Like
no. So I really like her character in this, despite the kind of lack of characterization she really has. But there's so many characters in this. A lot of them are kind of underdeveloped. But like with Dog Soldiers, we were saying they
hit the key points on them.
Yeah, there's enough for us to be like, these are fun characters.
Yeah, she's like straight up, she takes no shit, she doesn't really give a shit either. You've got Bob Hoskins then, who's her superior in some capacity.
Father figure,
being allowed to use his own accent, which is always wonderful. Who's like who is the gruff father figure. He's also quite high up in this department.
He's Chief Nelson, but we don't find out chief of what.
He's involved in kind of the political machination side of the story.
Yeah, he's our like audience insert for all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes politically. And I do like that it adds to this kind of dishevelled dystopian future England, that this police chief who's important enough to be meeting with the Prime Minister, like he's head of Met Police,
is out on a fucking raid.
Is also out on a raid in the pissings of rain in the docks in the middle of the night.
Where somebody is inexplicably welding.
Oh yeah. The inexplicable welding.
Why? It's clearly just been raided. It's probably crawling with fucking people from this basically Department of Security, whatever, bollockology. Like, why are you still welding, dude?
Yeah, that guy's dedicated to his job.
Yeah, because there were corpses all over that ship.
Yeah, fucking gunfights going on and police everywhere, and this guy's like, nope, I got a job to do. I gotta weld. But yeah, no, I do. I like that we've got this police chief who is out on raids, but also meeting at the highest levels of government as well. So obviously they are kind of spread thin.
Yeah, well, clear that is made very, very clear by the blatant lack of security within what would have once been number 10 Downing Street, which is now some sort of fortified bunker thing.
Yeah, with an elevator.
With the shittiest of fortifications.
Yeah.
Like, it is lacking basic fortification. Not even like a roll door from in front of a convenience store. Like, no, seriously, that would have stopped a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Just one of those shitty, the shitty ones that you can just pull down, the chain link ones.
Yeah.
They're really hard to get through.
But again, we wouldn't have gotten that particularly fun scene.
No. But lack of security, once again. Oh yeah,
lack of security is an issue. It's definitely
especially
an issue.
When it's supposed to be like one of the most secure facilities in the country. No.
Yeah.
You failed. You had one job.
apart from Sinclair, all the other characters, we're probably just talking about them bits and bobs as we come across them.
Yeah, because you don't really give a shit about the rest of them.
But it is worth mentioning the cast itself is fucking great. Like, there's so many good people in this cast.
You've got Alexander Siddig, who plays the Prime Minister. Just fucking, yes, he's Dr. Bashir to me. He will always be Dr. Bashir to me.
Yeah.
That's just what I know him from. David O'Hara as Canaris.
He had the fantastic voice.
He was in Gotham. It's his second, like, he has been in a few things with Sean Pertwee.
He was in Gotham with Sean Pertwee, and so was Alexander Siddig, because he was Ra's al
Ghul, yeah.
And Alexander Siddig's uncle,
Malcolm McDowell, who's a legend.
Yeah.
And
Sean
a great
Pertwee,
bit of fun.
as
Sean
we
Pertwee.
said, not in it for long, but...
Just enough.
Yeah, it's just enough Sean Pertwee. As we mentioned, we had Emma Cleesby from Dog Soldiers, and you also had Chris Robson, Darren Morfitt, and I can't remember the other guy, but the guy who played Terry from Dog Soldiers. You had a couple of actors from The Descent.
The Irish girl, I've completely forgotten her name. She was in the Magdalene Laundries as well. She's
in Norma something. One of our own. I really should have bothered to look up her name. She plays Reed.
Yeah,
is the character.
She's, the Magdalene Laundry, she's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's not a fun movie. If you're very easily triggered, do not watch it.
Yeah, not a film we'll ever be covering on this podcast either. I
just wanted to put that out there if I mentioned it, that it is an extremely traumatic film.
Yeah, it's tough
watch it your own with your own.
It's a tough watch.
Yeah, research it before you look at it.
But yeah, no, the cast is excellent, and we've got then Mayanna Buring, who's in The Witcher now.
She's in The Witcher, yeah.
With looking very young.
Very believable accent, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good accent. Especially considering what accents we had last week.
Oh, stop. I'm still haven't recovered from that dubbing.
And then obviously Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins just being Bob Hoskins and being adorable.
Fucking fantastic cast, and because there's so many of them, we nearly don't get enough of all of them.
No, Nora Jane Noon is Reed.
Oh, and Saul.
Yes.
Saul being, I've forgotten his name.
Craig Conway.
And
also shout out to Leanne Liebenberg, because she's a stunt actress.
Oh, Viper. Yeah, Saul's right-hand woman.
Yeah, she's a stunt actress, so it's nice to see. Again, I love seeing stunt actors getting credited.
Yeah.
We had it last week.
Well, the week before with Doom.
Yeah, the monster guys got him. Craig Conway is a monster guy as well. He was in The Descent as the main Crawley thing.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, in last week's film, it was like 3 actors and 50 traceurs.
Yeah. But yeah, again, I love seeing monster guys and stunt people getting credited within the main cast. So.
Yeah. And Saul was one of the werewolf performers from Dog Soldiers.
He's also the guy
at the start
in the
tent. Torn apart in the tent.
He gets the little letter opener.
Yeah. And Saul, we'll talk about Saul. Nothing to do with like his character record.
Saul's one of my all-time favourite bad guys.
Yeah, Saul is just a great Scottish psycho bad guy.
He's so much
fun.
The only person who could have possibly played Saul better is Joseph Gilgoon.
I don't even know that he'd have done it better. He'd have done it as well. But
I would have liked to have seen the pair of them in a film together, though, as a pair of mad bastards.
What, like as a Scottish psycho off?
Yeah.
Psycho off.
Oh,
Saul's great. Saul's fucking brilliant.
He's so much fun.
Malcolm McDowell's a little bit over the top as Kane, but the role kind of calls for it, so I'm down.
Yeah, it's only really like 15-20 minutes of him, so you're going to milk it for all it's worth.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this was also around the time when Malcolm McDowell's profile wasn't quite up there. He was kind of going through a bit of a slump, too. Like, we would have always been fans of him because he does a lot of voice work.
I think Malcolm McDowell just does whatever Malcolm McDowell wants.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, if he's going through a slump, it's because he doesn't want to act.
Yeah.
It's not because people won't hire him. He goes, I like this, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And this one, it may have been, hey, Uncle Malcolm, will you do this film?
Yeah, he is Alexander Siddig's uncle.
But yeah, no, he's great in this as Kane.
And he didn't have to go very far because all of his sequences were filmed in Scotland, so...
Probably why one of the other reasons he accepted to
don't have to go far.
That's fine.
Because he does a lot of voice work. I love him, but particularly in Metalocalypse. He's one of the Mad Council members.
Yeah, anybody who's in Metalocalypse is always going to be down for us. But yeah, no, there's the cast is great. The villains are great fun. The couple of characters that we do focus on, like Sterling, is great fun.
Yeah.
And as I said, Darren Morfitt, Spoon in Dog Soldiers. Fucking love him. And
it's really fun because it's so hard to separate, because Spoon's such an iconic fucking character for me. I love Spoon. And he will always be this loudmouth twat. the character in this is quite, he's a scientist. He's not supposed to be like all hoorah, I can, beat the shit out of you. It was the first time I watched it was so hard to kind of remove myself from the whole, it's not Spoon.
I totally get it. The more we've watched
curly hair and the big thick chunky turtleneck does help with that.
Yeah. But the more we've watched it, the more I do.
Yeah, it's Nelson.
He is his own character. He is Sterling, because he's supposed to be kind of like the second in command of the scientists in the medical, and then
Sean Pertwee's being the main doctor, person who's studied the Reaper virus.
Yeah, but when he gets killed, we have Sterling as being the only one who's left, and there's that really nice bit where they all get separated, and Sterling turns to Norton, the leader of the unit of soldiers before Sinclair gets brought in, and he's like, you have to face the possibility that the rest of them are dead, and we still have a job to do.
Yeah.
And it's nice because you're kind of expecting him to nearly be the green one. He doesn't know what line of fire is.
The line of fire thing, when they explain that. And nice. Then that gets called back to about 2 or 3 times.
Definitely
really
twice, yeah. And both times
it's him.
It's him, and it's done quite well. Particularly the second time with the shovel.
Yeah, get down!
But yeah, no, I do. I really like Sterling, and the more we watch it, the more I can separate him from Spoon.
Yeah.
Because he does, he is really concerned about his mission and saving people.
There is a nice nod to Spoon, though, in it, because there is a fight sequence in a kitchen.
Yes, and that is...
Using unconventional tools.
Yeah.
Pheasant.
Yeah, the bit where he smacks your man with the pheasant and then throws it at him when he lands on the ground and just says, pheasant. As he throws it at him is great.
Just smacking somebody with a pheasant.
Has to be a direct nod to Dog Soldiers.
And then get somebody else with like a big pewter, a big silver jug as well. He lams the guy around the head.
Yeah, and Norton's like, nice. And he's like, cool. Yeah, let's go.
Really? Yeah.
But Sterling's good. Miller is Chris Robson. He's Joe from Dog Soldiers. He's one of the just kind of he's one of the straight soldiers that does get taken out early on in the film.
Yeah, but he's kind of just there.
I find him harder to separate from Joe, because he's the one who gets out when they come across the cows.
Yeah.
And it's like, the APC is fine, but your cow's a total write-off. And he's very much like Joe is in Dog Soldiers, so I find it harder to separate him. But then he gets separated by the cannibals, so he's not around for that long. But he goes down fighting like he does in Dog Soldiers.
Yeah, they put up a fight.
And poor Sean Pertwee.
Oh,
not blown up this time, but burnt to a crisp.
That was an uncomfortable death. And he was saying, to add insult to injury as well, they had him die in lycra.
Yeah,
because he's in like a wetsuit type affair.
And I was saying, if you were going to cook somebody alive, would you not have them naked?
Yeah, because if it's like neoprene.
No, I mean, I'm sure Sean Pertwee wouldn't want to have been naked during that scene, but just for...
Well, considering that scene, that whole is essentially it's Glaswegian Cannibal Thunderdome.
Yeah, basically.
It's magnificent. I want to be at it.
Yeah.
That's a good party.
He wears his references on his sleeve, and in few scenes is it more obvious than this one.
It's Mad Max.
This one, the end of the film.
Like, I think Mad Max, though, when you're doing any sort of mad dystopian future where it's gone kind of that way, to that sort of really lawless, the tribe style. Yeah. Mad Max has been around for so long and kind of did it so well, it's hard to remove it. It's the same way when you go for a futuristic future, it kind of looks very much like Blade Runner, where it's the mash with the neon and the Asian and the clutter, like the different layers of society at different points in the city. So it's hard to come up with any sort of realistic future that's not mirroring one of those. And
that's why I think that
although now they should all be in athleisure wear.
But that's why I think that the medieval thing actually works. It is jarring the very first time you watch it. But I think it works because if you didn't have that, and if it was just Saul as the bad guy the whole way through, it would be just very much kind of a Mad Max clone. Yes. But because you've got this medieval thing, you have a contrast between the various systems of control. You've got an authoritarian dictatorship political style of control south of the wall. Yeah. With Canaris and Hatcher. Then you've got a more religious, fundamental, feudal form of control
where Cain is. And his little band of merry men.
Saul's is the full-on tyrant, anarchic kind of.
Yeah.
There is a form of control there in that Saul is in charge, but everything else is very much kind of anarchy.
Yeah.
So
I know which one I'm going to end up in.
Yeah, so I'd say it's pretty obvious which one we'd end up in.
I already have half the wardrobe.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll eat pretty much anything that's given to us. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long pig. Although we were saying that wasn't long enough to cook a full person, because I remember working that out myself once in maths. You know, the way it's generally like 20 minutes.
No, how long it would take to cook a full person?
To cook it, like myself in particular, to slow roast it. And I think it is about like 6-7 hours, which makes sense when you think about when they slow roast pigs.
They have them set to medium rare.
No, they have them up to crispy.
Oh, they do have them up to crispy, sorry, yeah.
Which literally was crispy. They're all going to get real bad worms.
Yeah, anybody who ate the outside might be okay, but anybody who went further in, probably going to get food poisoning and parasites. So.
Yeah, that's not going to be a fun night. Also, that's a lot of food to go. That's a lot of people to eat off one person.
Off one person. Yeah, I gotta guess that they have others there to supplement.
Yeah. There's a lot of cows. There's a lot of cows. I'm pretty sure that they eat those.
I just assume they eat each other when they get bored or run out of food. Because it's never really addressed. There's gotta be
somebody there with a fetish for it.
Yeah, it's never really addressed as to where, like, maybe they do raids of, because Callie does say that Cain and Saul are at war.
Yeah.
So maybe they go on raids to Cain's territory and try and take some of his people.
I don't know. Well, the British government have been aware that there have been survivors for at least 3 years.
Well, that's the other thing.
Callie and Saul are children of Cain, and Cain does say that he lost his family when they shut that. So it's long enough for them to have actually created new societies where they have completely blocked out all knowledge. Because Cain has told them all that there's nothing behind the wall. There's, the rest of the world is ravaged. They have to stay with him. We're all that's left. Yeah. Yeah, he's doing the full-on Doomsday cult thing of, like, I'm the only one who knows the truth.
Oh, yeah. And the invaders are outside the wall.
Yeah.
the sin is outside the wall. We must stay pure.
Yeah.
He is very much the cult leader, yeah.
Yeah. They are cricket. It's all gotta go.
Yeah. But I do like as well the build-up that we get to Cain. He keeps getting mentioned, and like when we were introduced to Saul, he's like, I knew Cain was lying, I knew there was things outside the wall. Callie is clearly terrified of Cain. We hear that he has an executioner, and one of the last things...
They have an old train. There's steam engines.
One of the last things before we actually meet Cain is as we're coming up to the castle, we see a whole lot of posts with people in various states of decomposition
and
tied to them.
She's saying, I can take you to him, but I can't go because he's going to kill me.
Yeah. So the cannibals are at war with him.
He's paranoid, and she mentions his paranoia and all that. So he's if he had access to like unconventional drugs, he would basically be Jonestown.
Yeah. But I like to build up to him, because initially when they go to find him, it's supposed to be the doctor who was working the hardest there and might have a cure.
And he could stayed working, and they find all these audio files from him, and you get the overtone of it's positively medieval. Yeah. Because you can hear he's...
heavy-handed bit of foreshadowing, but I like it.
But he's giving... You were saying something about the way the voiceover is done.
His
narration.
It really puts me in mind of Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds.
It's
the Richard Burton narration, because the way at the start he talks about like, the old enemy of a microscopic virus or something along those lines. And when they're playing, that tape of him where he's talking about it's positively medieval outside, he's talking about like hearing screams of anguish from people at nighttime. And it reminds me of the narrator talking about like the Martians banging in the pit.
Yeah, and it kept on going, and the noise of it unscrewing.
Yeah, whether it's deliberate or not, I don't know. I just got that vibe.
It's actually, I always think that piece of narration, it's still War of the Worlds, but the red weed, when they're hiding in the basement and the red weed comes.
Yeah.
That's kind of more where based on War of the Worlds I would equate that narration to.
But I definitely did get a War of the Worlds narration vibe off Malcolm McDowell's. Now, partly his voice as well.
Yes.
Is not that dissimilar to the same quality of Richard Burton, But I do. I like the lead up to him, because you're thinking he's supposed to be the saviour of the story
as well. Like he just has he does that mad glint.
Oh yeah, he's
like he's not doing a full on like Skeletor chewing the scenery.
No, but you can see that
he is deranged.
Yeah, and Cain as a character fervently believes that
he's right.
He has to do... Well, not that he's right, but that he has to do this. Because we see, just before he sends Eden out to fight Telamon, he's like, what are things like on the other side of the wall? And she says, same shit, different era. And he's like, so I was right then to keep us apart.
She's justified his actions. But he's also then punishing his daughter because she's been outside that and she has to be cleansed, and he's fucking branding her.
Yeah, just because she left.
And fair fucks to Myanna Buring, because that is painful to listen to, her screaming.
Oh, yeah.
The screaming. The daddy in particular, because she's like, no, father. And then you hear daddy, and that's the one that hurts.
And it's not out of the blue either if you pay attention, because
she's
Saul...
covered in scars.
She has a few that you can't see, but Saul has some very obvious burn scars. And I'm guessing, Saul is the son that left and went to war with the father. Yeah. Probably got burned a lot more as a child than Callie.
He also, in his big theatrical gala of a feast day, is like, Cain told us, Cain's lied to us. So these are also people who have followed him alongside presumable survivors he's found.
Yeah, I always assumed that the cannibals or marauders, or whatever you want to call them, were some of the people that had left with Saul, and some people that had just been hanging out in Glasgow, just being nut jobs anyway. Yeah. And he kind of rallied them all together into this Mad Max-esque society of cannibals. But yeah, Saul's fucking great.
That's fun.
Saul is great. Cain is great. They're both really fun. Telamon, the executioner,
he's a giant.
He's a giant, but the fight scene with him is fucking great.
I love that. Like, they're like, there you go, you go off and fight him, and he's in full plate armor with a shield and like a big fuck off mace.
Yeah, she has nothing.
Yeah, they don't even give her anything. They don't even give her like a dagger, like as a fucking.
And she holds her own. I love that fight scene.
She does hold her own.
She holds her own with no weapons.
They would have no formal training.
That was what I was saying. It was nice about. Telamon probably would have.
I reckon he's probably just a reenactor from the castle.
Well, no, but you're going to get your most... Like, he's supposed to be the executioner, so you're going to get your at least strongest or most...
He's got good aim.
Yeah, he'll have some level of training, but a lot of the other guards are probably just dudes who are big and burly, and they went, here, have an axe, you're on the night watch now.
Yeah.
Man this wall and tell us if anybody comes along, because Cain also runs things through fear.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need trained guys, he just needs brutes and bullies.
Yeah.
And Telamon, I'd say,
except for maybe his horse master, because those horses are...
Yeah, he probably has a few people who are trained in key positions, and I reckon Telamon is one of them.
Yeah, well, his second in command is
Falco or something like that.
Yeah, he's far more menacing, I find.
Yeah, he is. He's like menacing and
he's
sneering.
The sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's very much who he's supposed to be, I think. And
specifically in Prince of Thieves, he is the Guy Gisborne.
I'd say that's
Michael,
what he was told.
I've forgotten the name of him. He was in The Crow as well.
Yeah, he's top dollar in The Crow.
Yeah, he's amazing.
This happens every time we try and think of his name, and I normally
Michael something.
Yeah, I know, and Michael is normally the part I have trouble with, and now I can't remember his surname.
Hey!
But this doesn't make good podcast listening.
No. but it is a very similar kind of role to that he's almost the sneakier bastard.
Yeah. But no, in that fight with Telamon, I love it so much. She holds her own with no weapon. The second
she gets a weapon, she laps him out of it.
But the way she gets the weapon as well, she goes to climb out, and one of the random soldiers is like, oh no, shit.
I'm just going to kick you in the leg.
Tries to climb over to like swing an axe at her, and she just fucks him onto the ground, steals his weapon. And the second she gets a weapon, Telamon's done for.
Yeah.
He doesn't get so much as one hit in. She annihilates him about 3 or 4 times.
Well, he annihilates your Michael Wincott, by the way.
Wincott. Thank you.
Your man gets his face totally caved in.
Oh,
the guy she pulls off the balcony. Yeah. And while he's busy caving in your man's face, because he was already like following through on the swing, she gets him in behind the knee in the weak spot. It's fucking lovely. And that's it. He's kind of
three or 4 hits. She has him down on the ground. She turns around to kind of stare at Cain, and Telamon goes to get back up. And the crowd kind of roars, and she just turns around and sticks the axe in the top of his skull.
Yeah.
And that I really like, because it's not over the
top. She's still bollocks though, because then he's like, oh yeah, just archers, just shoot her. Fuck it.
Yeah, but I do. It's
So he's inherently dishonourable. Meanwhile, there's been an escape plan going on in the background. So when she finishes killing Telemon and goes to make a dramatic entry and exit, like a whole lot of shit just blows up behind her.
Yeah, the timing of those grenades is a bit coincidental. But hey, I'll let it slide. I'll let the convenience slide.
Yeah, because I love it. They're like, oh, they have grenades and shit. I was like, why do they have fucking grenades? If they've eschewed all the like principles of the modern world.
No, they're his grenades.
Oh, right. Okay. We actually missed one of the best bits, which is when they initially get into Glasgow and they get into the hospital and they're looking for the records.
We're not going... Well, I just wanted to talk about the Telemon fight. We're not going chronologically through the film. Because, that's one of the other best scenes in the film, is that hospital... Well, what starts with the hospital attack.
But the introduction to the cannibals...
Yeah, it's great.
Because you don't know if they're cannibals or if they're nut jobs or like what the virus has actually done to them long term.
Yeah, because
really it's all dark, silhouetted and they've all got like mad mohawks and shit like that and like weird crap stuck to themselves.
It's real frantic and very much reminded me of the end of Dog Soldiers.
Yeah.
In a good way. Like, not that it was exactly the same or that same energy. Like.
Pace. And those real fun grenades that they have in that.
And that's where poor Terry gets taken out.
Oh, through the face.
Through the face.
Plus you've got that idiot outside who gets out of the fucking APC.
Chandler.
Yeah. He deserves it.
Yeah, Chandler fucks it up for everybody.
Chandler does fuck it up for everybody.
But yeah, no, that's really fun. And the APC flip.
They built those. It was cheaper to
scratch.
build 2 of them from scratch than to buy them and renovate them.
And they flipped them as well.
Yeah, and they were very sad because they spent like 12 weeks building them and then they filmed on them for 4 days and then destroyed them.
And then, pretty much destroyed them.
It's
they were like, we can only do this flip once, so let's hope we get it right.
The same thing with the Bentley Continentals. Bentley do not do product placement at all. So
well, not in a film like this anyway.
No, they don't across the board.
You want to cover it in what?
No. They don't across the board. It's just kind of their thing. So the production actually bought 3 Bentley Continentals. One accidentally was driven into a gorge. Yeah. One was covered in skin.
And the other one is the one we see in the end sequence.
Which does the majority of the stunts. And apparently they were so impressed with it because it only needed minor cosmetic bodywork. They didn't actually do any damage to the chassis or anything like that. And they launched it through a fucking bus.
Yeah, they pretty
much.
It was a fairly stripped out bus that they launched it through.
Yeah, but they still launched. Like that thing.
You see the shot of it landing.
Yeah.
And that's it landing. And it bounces and keeps on driving.
And that was it. Yeah, they was basically kind of fine.
Yeah. That chase scene at the end as well. As much as the chase scene through Glasgow is fun, that end chase scene, obviously, I mean, Mad Max ripoff that it may be, it's still fucking great fun.
The vehicles are really, really fun in it. They were all built by a South African effects warehouse, which unfortunately I don't have the name of, but they do such a good job on them. And there's like a London cab with like a V6 engine in it. Yeah. There's the Gimp chariot, which is like the back half of like an old Corvette, and the front half is like a motorbike, and you can only drive it standing up, and it's apparently fucking terrifying. And then there's a guy strapped to the front of it. The Gimp is chained to the front of it as well.
Yeah, the Gimp's great as well, actually. Shout out to the Gimp.
Yeah, there's one with a massive flywheel, because one always has to have a massive flywheel on it somewhere.
The big fan. The Beetle with the big fucking airboat fan.
The bus is probably my best bit, because it launches those fucking...
saw blades.
Yeah. Out of the sides of it.
But
they just had great fun with all the vehicles, and all the Marauder weapons are hilarious because it's all like bits that have been like tinkered together. It's very reminiscent of all the weapon construction in Dead Rising, when it was like you were literally, it was like you got a paddle and 2 chainsaws and you duct taped it together and you were like, paddle chainsaw thing.
Yeah, basically.
That's what it is.
The bikes with the skeletons strapped to the front
of them. You've got the butcher guy who's got the chainsaw hand thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of really, really fun weaponry, and just all the Marauders look like not horrible, but like they have been making their clothes and stuff out of shit they've been finding.
Yeah.
And things they've collected and
human skin and whatever.
Yeah, just whatever they can come across.
It's great. It is just the chase. Well, all the kind of action set pieces in this are fantastic.
The Glaswegian chase scene has the best final shot though, when they escape on the train.
Yes.
And Saul's a little bit mad that they got away.
punches out his own guy.
Yeah.
Actually broke the poor stuntman's nose.
Yeah, there was like only for such a massive set, there was only like 2 accidents. One was a stuntman got dragged by a motorcycle, but he was fine. And the second was Soul actually punched the stuntman.
Yeah.
And broke his nose.
The other thing that I love just at the end of that chase sequence as well is when your man smacks into the turnstiles on the bike and comes flying over, and Sterling turns around to laugh at him and
then
he's like, ooh, and then buckles himself. And it's like, oh yeah, turned around to rub it in somebody's face in the face of certain death. Probably not the best choice.
No.
But that's when we get our second bit where Eden saves his saves his life by telling him to get down and beans the guy in the face with a shovel.
There's a lovely little shot when they're running towards the train station and they're being chased by the bus and he's shouting, "Leg it!"
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we know you can run faster than that.
Yeah, we've seen you run faster than that in other films.
Yep.
And he also has a choice line that I didn't pick up on, but you did, in the final chase scene when they're all fighting in the car and Saul is trying to hit Callie.
There were 6 people there. Hang on. How many? There's like
5 people in the car.
There's 5 people and 4 of them are actively fighting.
Yep.
While the car is also being driven at high speed. But one person is steering and the other person is using the pedals.
Yeah, I think
it's fucking hilarious.
It's great.
There is just legs sticking out of the car. There is like somebody being dragged out and getting back. It's so funny.
Yeah, but when Sterling is trying to punch Saul in the side.
Yeah.
He says,
he's elbowing the shit out of him.
Yeah. Get away from her, you bitch.
Another Aliens reference. There's also check your corners.
Yeah, check your corners, and obviously the whole APC sequence.
APC flick. That is pretty much 100% out of it.
Yeah, if you're looking for references, in particular, Aliens, 28 Days Later, Escape from New York, Escape from LA, and the Mad Max series, you will find plenty in this film.
Because even when they're evacuating from the hospital and they're all pouring down the runway, the slip into the hospital. Yeah. That's really, really fucking 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
The sequence in the tunnel with the rats.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Also, he uses In the House in a Heartbeat.
Yeah, I have issues with the music placement in this film and it bothers me.
Yeah, there's at least 2 times where the music is used just too late.
Yeah, it's not that the music is bad, it's just it doesn't fit for where it should be. It takes you out of the moment. Yeah. And you become aware of it switching. Yeah, because they use 2 tribes and it's a great fucking track.
Yeah, but they should have 2 tribes kick in when we see all the cannibals in the car.
Or at the end with the bus shot.
Yeah.
It's in entirely the wrong place.
When it kicks in, it's after the cannibal reveal and we know that it's not just one cannibal car chasing them, it's a shitload of them.
I just love the fact that the first car that appears in that car
is a cop car?
It's a cop car. And it's an old Glaswegian cop car. It's one of the proper old, like, Ford Cortina Pandas. Yeah. Fucking brilliant.
Yeah, that, and then when Talbot, Sean Pertwee's character, gets killed, after he's dead and Sinclair is, like, fiddling around trying to escape and he's getting divvied up outside, they start playing In the House in a Heartbeat, whereas I really felt they should have played it when he started to get burned.
Especially because the version of it that they use is this real kind of slow...
techno-y version of it? Yeah. It's almost like industrialised.
Although I will say, using Fine Young Cannibals.
Oh, yeah.
Again, though, that switch is quite jarring because they switched then to the can.
Yeah, but that's it. That's
all part of this theatricality.
That's diegetic, I think.
Yeah, but
that's in world, and it's part of the theatricality of it.
But good thing by Fine Young Cannibals, just fucking
nice.
As his introduction and the introduction to this insane world, because you haven't really gotten an idea of just how fucking mad crap is.
One of the things that I disappointed me a little bit about this film, now it would have had to have gone on too long, is that, and especially considering we got 2 tribes, I was kind of hoping that we'd get cannibals versus medieval people.
I would have loved to have seen, because that was when 2 tribes comes on, you go, oh
yeah, are we going to get some horses coming in from the side here?
When she's looking in the rearview mirror and you can see all the other cars pulling up and you're going, oh. Yeah. And you expect her to turn around and there being like guys with horses coming through the other side. I was expecting that as well.
Yeah, no, I say it might have made the film run a bit too long if they tried to introduce them back in again.
But why would they give up? Yeah, they went through the tunnel in the mountain, but they didn't close the tunnel.
No.
The medieval guys just gave up?
Well, that car got out of there pretty fast. But I kind of like that the medieval, within the movie,
They just kind of went, oh, well, fuck it, and went back. You know, they've gone away now.
Well, they've escaped.
Yeah.
But no, I like that the medieval section is kind of contained with the transition of the mountain.
Yeah.
They go through the mountain and almost like into another world, into the past, and they have this medieval stuff, and then they escape and they go back through the mountain and it's back into cannibal land. And the two sections don't meet.
Yeah.
If they were to meet, I would have liked it to have been an all-out clash.
Yeah, that would have been very
That
fun.
would have been fun. But I do like that they are kind of kept separate because it does feel almost otherworldly when they get to the medieval thing. And that's what Neil Marshall said. He was going for kind of a time travel film without time travel.
Yeah,
in
the
it
tunnel
vibe.
going through the fallout shelter.
Yeah, I just, for me, I think it frames it nicely. It frames the
Also,
medieval
can we
thing
point
nicely.
out that in the fallout shelter, that is not how you use an inventory log. She's going through it and she's like, let's just check this random container.
This random thing and
No,
this random thing.
you have never done file matching. You have never done a file match in your fucking life. That is not how that works.
Yeah.
It also conveniently happens to open and you can drive out and out the door, whereas everything else in that, when they light it all up and it shows this huge long facility,
Yeah.
and everything's just piled on top of everything else, the one you need just happens to conveniently be at the door.
Well, also,
and there's petrol that's not degraded after 30 years, and
the-
your tyres aren't ruined, and your battery starts.
yes, but Ciara, do you want the chase sequence at the end of the film?
I do want the chase sequence at the end of the film.
Shut up. You just gotta go. No, I know, but you just gotta go with it. You just gotta go with it.
Yeah, but it makes sense that Salt cars all run because they'll
Why?
have been tinkering with them and shit like that over the years. And
They can't tinker with petrol, though.
No, you can't tinker with petrol, but who knows? They probably run it off rendered human fat or want somebody
True.
cooking oil.
But it's
Glasgow.
There's certain things that I'm willing to let slide, and there's certain things that I'm not. And that one, I'm like, okay, I'll let it slide because if I didn't, we wouldn't get the chase sequence at the end. So it's worth it. It's a trade-off. They haven't gone super realistic and been like, oh, there's no power and nothing works because we're 30 years in the future. If they had, really
but there's
heavily
any power in Scotland.
but if they had really heavily played up that aspect of it and then had a perfectly working flying car at the end, I would have been a bit pissed off. But no, how are the cannibals powering the sound system on that stage and all those lights? Who cares?
Yeah.
Maybe that's also Jenny's running on some sort of human fat that's been rented. Yeah, I'm willing to let that one slide. I'm not willing to let Norton's death slide. I feel like, when he gets hit by the arrows and it goes all
it's a little
slow-mo
bit excessive.
and Eden's supposed to be all desperately upset. I'm like...
She doesn't even care that she's killed somebody that apparently she had a longer relationship for than a day.
Exactly. She kills her partner at the start of the film, and at the end of the film, we're supposed to believe that she's desperately upset that this guy that she's met less than 48 hours ago has killed, and she's really upset. Nah, I'm not buying it. You haven't earned it yet. No. I'm sorry. And Norton's fun. He doesn't have a lot of characterization to him, but he is kind of fun. I do like him.
He's just like the kind of by the books guy who's there to get it done, and he actually does get shit done.
Yeah, and he gets shit done. And when that scene that I was talking about earlier, where Sterling is like, "We still have a job to do," Norton's response is, "Yeah, and my job is is keeping you safe. If you die, we're all fucked." So yeah, he's very much about his job as well. But no, he is fun. But yeah, that death sequence is dragged out a bit too much, and it's supposed to tug on heartstrings that just aren't there.
Yeah, it's a bit,
they just aren't there. But that's one of the few negative things I would say about it.
No, all in all, it's not by no means is it actually the world's most amazing film.
No, it's not going to get inducted into any Hall of Fames. But
really fun film.
Yeah, it's super entertaining.
Now, a lot of people do have issues with the medieval section in the middle of it, that they find it quite jarring, but we were watching it's only 10 minutes in the middle?
At most 15 to 18 minutes,
and
with the bit broken up in the middle.
And the section of that is split up to where it cuts back to London, where fucking Prime Minister's offices are breached. We get that whole fun sequence. So, we get Canaris' true colours coming out.
Yeah, being an absolute bastard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is jarring, but it doesn't
take you out of it.
Yeah.
It's unexpected. Obviously, the first time you watch it, you're kind of going, what the fuck?
But it doesn't drag the film down. It doesn't change the pacing or anything. It's not like the film comes to a screeching halt when you go there. I don't think anyway.
No.
And I think, and even with that, a lot of the reviews that I were reading weren't, the bad reviews didn't hinge on that. The bad reviews just hinged on that, like, oh, the movie just kind of doesn't go anywhere or doesn't have very deep characters. But even a lot of them that did say that were still like, but it's hella entertaining.
Yeah, it's a very fun film. Like, it's not necessarily the most, like, intellectually stimulating or visually satisfying film.
Well, visually it is really nice.
But, you know, it is very, very fun.
It's not like artsy visually or anything
no,
like that.
And it is very fun to watch Canaris.
Oh, Canaris' face at the end when he realises he's been screwed over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's his best bit of acting in the whole fucking film.
Canaris is great. I kind of wish there was more Canaris.
Yeah, more Canaris would be nice. And I will actually...
I'd like to have seen Canaris having some sort of dirty dealings with Kane.
Oh, that he actually kind of knew what was going on.
Yeah.
A la Snowpiercer.
Yeah. That there was some sort of weird
that might have been a step too far.
Yeah.
And there's already a lot of people talk about that there's like a lot of unanswered questions and plot holes in this film. That definitely would have been a step too far, I think. But one of the things that I would like to praise is that people kind of said it was a bit over the top and brash and obvious. But there's some really nice subtler stuff in this. In like the biohazard symbols that you see everywhere.
They're on
as
everything.
Tattoos, as banners in the castle,
it's
and as stained glass windows.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because if these people, as you said, a lot of them won't have known any better, especially the younger people will have been raised in this. They'll have seen that biohazard symbol everywhere in the old, rotten, decayed world. So it makes sense that it would be worked into their imagery and iconography. That's nice. The bit of the start where the wall gets welded shut as soon as they close the gate shows you just how serious they are. We are cutting off Scotland and we are never opening this fucking thing up again.
Yeah, well, like, they close that and they leave their own on the other side. They're like, fuck you.
Yeah,
fuck you, buddy. That poor bastard gets his hand stuck.
Yeah, and again, that's not gratuitous, but it's just to show, like, this is how serious they are.
They're so desperate to get out.
And yeah,
and like, there's another bit before when they're breaching through the containment further up when the initial breach happens and you can see them gripping onto the razor wire and just screaming, let us out.
Yeah, and the same when they're in London later on.
The panic. Because in London, they're like, they basically, when the outbreak, they have come across a new outbreak in London and they're like, we're just going to flood all of these and demolish the bridges and just let it burn its way through it.
Yeah, and eat itself through the population.
And yeah, we'll just let it burn itself out because it seems to have, it does seem to just flash its way through, and once there's no one else for it to infect, it just goes away.
It's gone, yeah. Yeah, there's little subtle things like that I do like throughout this film that's set up. Things like that, like them welding the gate shut shows just how fucking strict they were about it. Or there's a bit where Bob Hoskins' character is filling Sinclair in on what the story is. And as they're driving through the city, she passes a mother walking down the street just holding her child, and it's a kid about the same age as she was. And it's just focused on for a second. But
is that what she's saying? She can't remember her face?
It's in and around there, yeah. Because that's the only kind of emotional beat around Sinclair's character is that connection or lack thereof to her mother and to her old homeland.
Yeah, but she has a name and an address she can't even go to.
Yeah, and a face she can't remember. And yeah, it's just, they just dwell on it for a second, this mother and the kid while they're driving through. And it's just there's a few nice little subtle touches that you might not notice in a film that's as over the top as this one is, but in a good way.
I like the fact as well that London, like, it looks believably overpopulated. It's not too far-fetched, like it hasn't become this like super futuristic city or anything like that.
Yeah, it doesn't look as run down as Glasgow or anything.
No, well, like, obviously they've been left to rot, whereas this, like, they're just about struggling to upkeep it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's been like any new construction. They've got these massive populations. It said themselves that they're the ones who have caused this.
Yeah,
by forcing people
everybody in there. Yeah, no, it is. It's
created these slums.
The world of this film, I think, is built really well. Like you said,
the UK is struggling.
Yeah, and but even then, the way they set up everything north of the wall as well is built really well and structured really well. From sets to little bits of subtle foreshadowing and things like that.
Those poor cows. Those poor cows. Because if they were dairy cows, they'd all be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they can't survive because we fucked them up so bad.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't still be alive. That's a very good point.
Yeah. The sheep would be alright. They'd all be like big balls.
If we are talking about negative things, there's one thing that can't go unmentioned. And that is Darren Morford's terrible bit of dialogue that was
We need her to make a vaccine!
Yeah, at the end. But she's immune. We can make a vaccine from her blood. I can't remember if that's exactly the quote, but that's about the level of acting that you get off it.
He was like this. That was somebody just gone. Can you say this line down a phone? Like,
yeah, it probably was.
That's basically what it is. It's hilarious.
But yeah, it's
they
very
can
obviously
use her blood to make a vaccine.
Very obviously a bit of additional dialogue that they put in overwards. That, I think, just about covers everything, unless there's anything else that you'd like to bring up that you loved or hated.
No, it's a really, really fun action film.
When Sinclair flings the sword at the cannibal guy after she decapitates Viper. He was just like, oh, fuck. I love that bit, that's great.
I just love the fact as well that 30 years into the future they can still get cans of tenants.
Yeah.
And in fairness, yeah, if I was going to follow anybody in that scenario, it would probably be Saul.
I'd certainly be following Saul over the religious fucking nutjob who used to be a scientist.
Yeah, I'm probably, yeah.
And by the looks of it, you have an equal chance of getting killed by Saul or
by
Cain,
either of them, yeah.
Regardless of who you follow.
I'm going to go with Saul. He throws a good gig.
Yeah, at least he's got some fun going on there. But yeah, Doomsday, really fun. I think one of our favourite, like, just silly, entertaining films.
Yeah, there's a few that would be like on a Saturday night or a Sunday night when you're kind of not in the mood to watch anything in particular. Yeah,
I could throw this on at nearly any time. Maybe not watch it quite as much as Dog Soldiers.
No. Dog Soldiers is very, very special though.
But not far off, I wouldn't say. No, I really, really love this film. And I know it's not everybody's cup of tea.
It has the black comedy elements that Dog Soldier has that was missing from The Descent. But
there was no comedy elements in The Descent.
No, but he's taken a lot of what he learned in The Descent as well and added it to this.
Yeah, no, it is. You can definitely see that this is... obviously, it's a bigger budget, but you can see he was trying to do...
fun as well.
Trying to tell a bigger story with this one, because Dog Soldiers in The Descent very much are just about the group of people and the hardship / monster that they're trying to defeat or overcome, whereas this is about a lot more.
Yeah.
Now, some would say that it was too much. I don't think it was. No. I really fucking enjoy this film.
No, and yeah, because I hadn't watched this since pre-pandemic, so that was was fun. There's a few films now. I think
watching it with the COVID goggles was interesting.
Yeah, there's a few films now I'm going to have to go back and watch with the COVID goggles. Outbreak being one of them.
Outbreak, yeah, Contagion.
There's a few of them where I'm going to be like, oh, okay, let's get 28 weeks later because there's containment breaches in that. Cloverfield would be another one. And just be like, no, that's not an extreme measure.
Yeah, the Crazies.
The 1978 version as opposed to the 2000s version, which wasn't.
I was gonna say that The Bay, but no, that can fuck right off. I don't think I'll ever watch that film.
That
again.
was that was a really, really
that's a piece
misinformative trailer.
That is a piece of shit. But this is not a piece of shit. Sorry. No. Before we get too distracted as we're trying to wrap things up.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's Doomsday. If you haven't seen it, well, now you don't need to because we did a full spoiler fucking rant.
Yeah.
If you're planty, you're welcome for us giving you a full spoiler rant. Go and watch it, you fucker. It's worth it.
Considering a head smashes into a camera, a decapitated head smashes into a camera and says, ow.
Yeah.
Towards the end of it.
Yeah, this film does not take itself too seriously.
No, it really doesn't.
It really doesn't. But it's very fun. It's well worth a watch. Well worth a rewatch. And
still looks
great.
Because a lot of it was either done with miniatures or
straight up just done in camera. And even the few bits of CG that they did use, like Sean Pertwee getting burnt, looks fantastic. That looks really, really well.
They used it really well. They used it really, really smart. And yeah, it's just a silly, fun action film.
Yeah, and they got a lot out of their 19 million budget. I will say that. They definitely got a lot out of it. But that was Doomsday, finally, as promised. Eventually, we got around to it.
Got there.
And now we have to say the usual. We have no fucking clue what we're going to cover next week.
Nope.
Because we never do.
Nope.
We never do. But we've only got a few weeks left as we draw ever closer to the release of Season 3 of The Boys.
Yes.
So you'll have a few more weeks of Monorants at the movies, and then we'll be doing 6 or 7 weeks of The Boys. And we haven't decided quite what we'll do after that, but we'll still keep ranting about something.
We'll probably go back to At the Movies, but during the Boys run, I don't think...
there won't be any Monorants at the movies during the Boys unless, I somehow manage...
quick week or something like that.
Yeah, if we have a quiet week and we can bang out an extra one, we might. But until then, guys, you can go back and listen to our other episodes if you haven't. We have covered 13 or 14 varied movies that we love on Monorant at the Movies. We've covered every episode of The Boys and Diabolical over on Monorant's The Boys. And if you'd like to get in touch with us or give us some suggestions of movies to cover or just have a good out rant.
Please give us suggestions of films.
Yeah, we're having trouble picking things lately. So yeah, suggestions are welcome and just general rants are welcome. At Twitter, you'll find us at rantsmono. On Instagram, you'll find us at monorants_the_boys. And Gmail, you can send an L message to, monorantspodcast@gmail.com. That's it for this week, guys. Bye-bye.
We are Science Fiction Remnant.
This is the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
We are the Caribbean Science Fiction Network.
We are Monorants.
We are One Accord Level 2 Podcast.
This is Sci-Fi.